My name is Melanie Torres, and I'm going to be talking about fast fashion. So, we are always changing the world and the people around us. We see the changes that develop right in front of us, but what about the things that we don't see? Fashion has evolved drastically, especially during the COVID era, with brands dropping more frequently than before and with constantly changing collections. But have you ever thought to think about where all these clothes are coming from or where they're ending up? I didn't. It wasn't until I learned about the concealed horrors that transpire in order for us to stay on trend that I learned what fast fashion was. So, today I hope that I can help bring more light to this topic and teach you about what fast fashion is, who and what it affects, and how we can help. Firstly, what is fast fashion? Fast fashion stands for the fast shipping, for the fast production, and for the fast fashion trends. A lot of businesses that use and rely this business model is H&M, Zara, Shein, Forever 21, Fashion Nova. And what this business model does is have consumers endlessly buying more clothes. So before in the past, fashion brands have made new collections and new series planned ahead of time by months and even years. But over the last few decades, we as a community have seen how fast fashion trends are changing. For example, Shein, if you look up in their news section of their website, you will see 21,139 new items of clothes. This puts more pressure on the workers to produce more material at lower prices, which regulates a faster flow of demand. So, fast fashion is a toxic business model that is relatively new but is already having disastrous consequences. So, fast fashion is not only bad for humans, but it is also bad for the environment. Cheap industry materials allow for a lot of clothing to be made with synthetic fibers. So, these are chemically made, and this means that they are not biodegradable, they are not recyclable, and the clothes also last less, making them worse quality, which in turn means more people are buying it more frequently. So these synthetic clothes usually have a short lifespan. Due to clothes constantly being replaced, fast fashion becomes a business strategy that is just overall incredibly wasteful. 92 million tons of textile waste piles up annually on Chile's Atacama's desert. 57% of all discarded clothing ends up in a landfill, and once it becomes too much, they incinerate it. So, horrible for the environment. And people are also suffering because of the clothing for fast fashion. The fast fashion business model relies on labor dependent, cheap labor, and it usually targets developing nations. So business contracts suppliers in undeveloped nations for an extremely low price and majority to unregistered vendors. So this means that there is no requirement for these brands to make sure that they are providing a safe working condition for the workers employed at said supplier. 60% of employees are under the age of 18 when they started working in India. And by fast fashion selling low cost clothes, it has consequently directly impacted less and less profit for those who are directly creating them. So fast fashion is creating a vast amount of waste while operating and flourishing on the suffering of people. So it's time to consider alternatives. Ways people have tried to cut back on their contribution to fast fashion is by buying more ethically. You can always look up to see if a brand is ethical. And something that I like to do is shop secondhand. If there's a piece you really like from a fast fashion brand, I find it fun to try to find a unique replica. So, in conclusion, it's important to be aware of what fast fashion is, as it is something that is dangerously impacting our earth and exploiting humans. Hopefully, you can use your newfound knowledge on fast fashion to continue to spread its meaning, practice the alternatives, and create more necessary awareness for the topic. Thank you.